They got gifted a roster 6 years ago, and they told us they were going to win the Stanley Cup, and we all laughed at them. Oh,
Remember when Rutherford said, "You could turn this around in like 15 minutes," and then they said, "You gotta stop talking."
Okay, we get a lot of shots. Everybody come to the net. We just have to get more and more pucks to the net.
I'm about to listen to Pucks on Net.
We used to talk about in Vancouver getting pucks on net.
Pucks on net. What were you saying about putting pucks on net?
This is JT Miller with the Vancouver Canucks, and you're listening to Pucks on Net.
Pucks on net and driving and making it a hard night on them.
Fucking genius live.
I'm on tape from myriad locations. This is Pucks on Net, a Vancouver hockey podcast riddled with rampant speculation without sources. Another satellite hot stove edition of the podcast coming at you. My name is Ryan Schapp. I'm going to be your host for the evening. I'm coming to you from my apartment above the grounds of the old haunted Burger King.
I've been calling him Shorp. Oh, I've been making an idiot out of myself.
He's been doing this show for 2.5 years, and he just figured it out.
Has it really been 2.5 years?
Closing in on 3, Labor Day 2020.
Oh my God, that's going to be... Ooh,
although you were officially asked in the very strange photo we took December 10th or 12th.
Yeah, it was like 4 days before my birthday. Anyway, Ryan, do the intro. Give the people what they want.
My name's blah, blah, blah. A couple of links for you. Patreon.com/pucksonnet. I can already tell you right now what we're doing for 5 minutes for paying. It is the return of everybody's favorite segment. Is this the oldest headshot on Hockey DB? I found a doozy today. I'm excited to play that with Arash. That's patreon.com/pucksonnet. Also, Arash and I have 2 dates this week.
Ooh, wait. Oh yeah, we do. Okay, the one though is going to be on our Patreon, and I'm going to love it. Ryan and I have a date tomorrow to the best place you could ever think of to go watch a sports game. Vancouver Pizza, a.k.a. Boston Pizza.
A.k.a. Austin Pizza.
Austin Pizza. We're going to go. It's a Tuesday. It's Pasta Tuesday. It's the best deal. It's so good. I invented pasta, and Mr. Treliving came, and he said, I need the recipe you got for pasta. And I said, I'm going to give it to you because I'm so nice. And then his son wanted to go to Toronto, and I said, you can do that, but you got to give me Marner. I need Marner. They said no. And then I burned down the league. I just burned it down, and no one knows hockey more than me. I am every one of those French Canadians. I am French Canadian, the Frenchest, most Canadian. Guy Lafleur, he's my son and his father. Genetically, that can happen. Don't question me. We're gonna go. Sorry, I don't know how that turned into a Trump impersonation. But
we're going to Boston Pizza.
We're going to Boston Pizza. We're gonna vlog it. And could you imagine, Ryan, if we're at the Boston Pizza and the Golden Knights win the Stanley Cup, and we're in Boston Pizza? Do you think they'll go around giving people free shots?
At the bare minimum.
We're
gonna be, Arash, we're gonna have our 5-10 years from now, we're gonna have our grandchildren sitting on our knees, and we're gonna be telling them about the time we watched the Vegas Golden Knights win the Stanley Cup in a fucking Boston Pizza. So we're here making memories. This is a question for those watching on YouTube or listening wherever you get your podcasts from. We're out here making memories. What the hell are you doing with your life?
They're probably getting through a recession. Why are you being so mean to people? Why are you being so mean, Ryan? You got something you need to say?
Good point. Oh man, we have lots to share. There's one hockey series to talk about right now. There are some fun extracurriculars to talk about. Gita, last minute, unable to join the podcast this week, but she is forever just in my camera right here. And I was legally entitled, or legally...
Entitled?
What's legally...
Obligated.
Obligated, thank you. Legally obligated to announce...
How do you not know the word obligated, Ryan? I came to this country like 15 years after you.
I had a great day off. Very productive. Legally obligated due to Pucks on Net's rich history to announce that it is Jason Spezza's 40th birthday tomorrow, June 13th, 1983. He came into this world. He laughed right out of the womb. And he almost he went on to almost score 1,000 points, but Mike Babcock had something to do about it.
Wait, did he? Is he stuck on 999?
He's like 995. I was looking at his page. I was looking at his page last week when we were talking. I put that tweet out about it. Like, if you take Shane Doan, Trevor Linden, and Jason Spezza in a line, and one of them's got to go in the Hall of Fame. Strangely enough, Trevor Linden has the resume out of the three to get in.
I would say, Linden out of the okay, just because we're being funny. Linden out of the three has the resume strictly because of the off ice. Like, he single-handedly he finished the lockout in, 04, 05.
Yeah, it was him.
It was him. He was the guy. And then also, he runs a bunch of gyms, and he ran into a couple gyms later on in his Canucks career, whom thwarted him at every turn. And unfortunately, Fredo, you know who I'm talking about. Fredo, unfortunately, decided to go with the other gyms and not Trevor. So.
They really liked him. They really liked those guys. They were fun, nice guys. Probably a great time to have at Christmas.
Huge, nice guys. So happy birthday to Justin Spezza. Gita, I hope you're feeling better. And yes, but we're going to Boston Pizza tomorrow. We're going to have some pasta. We're going to watch the game. We're going to vlog it. It'll be fun. Ryan, got to ask you.
Yeah.
This cup final. I'm kind of done. Are we done?
I'm ready for it to be over.
I think like this was it. What ended up happening with this cup final. I mean, no knock against the Panthers because they came back from 3-1 against Boston, so anything's possible. But it's like game one, the Panthers tested Vegas physically. Vegas didn't wilt. And then Florida was like, well, shit.
What else
and I
we
go,
got?
okay, what else we got? And then I go, oh. And Paul Maurice is like, oh, I got funny jokes. People ask me if you're injured, and I say everyone's injured. Everyone has problems.
Everyone's going to bar mitzvahs.
Everyone's going to bar mitzvahs. It's great. But so yeah, we'll see how it is. But it's just seeming like this is just not. I don't know. Not as compelling. And the end of game 4 was a little rough and tumble. Like, Chuck can't move his arm, but he's going after Alex Pietrangelo and putting him in a headlock and trying to Mortal Kombat 1 fatality him.
Which I personally can't stand because like it's a divisive topic, and I agree with both sides of the spectrum of the debate. But I tip my cap to fighting in hockey, but my least favorite type of hockey is World Juniors, IAHF. We're just going to do as much as we can without taking our gloves off and try to get in a pissing contest of who's tougher. So I really didn't like the end of the game, end of game 4, because everybody's out there to be a dick but not get suspended. Like if you're going to be out there to be a dick, don't just be the guys outside the bar in the parking lot yelling, be like, yeah, you better, you don't want to come over here.
Yeah.
Like I don't really care for it. And like, again, we all picked Florida to start this series. Like, we liked what the Florida Panthers were putting down. And the Knights aren't turning babyface for me, but I'm like, shades of gray. I'm like, the bloom's off the rose with Florida. I'm kind of like, they're
amazing
kind of
Seal reference. Oh my God, what a great Seal reference.
No teams in particular, but they're reminding me of goon up teams in the past, and I just I don't really respect it. Like, it's one thing to be a tough team, like there's a well-rounded team is tough as hell, hits in the playoffs, but also scores goals and wins games, and doesn't have Sam Bennett as their PP1 power, their quarterback, and they're not doing anything. They're like, oh man, we keep trying to kick these guys' ass, and we're not scoring any goals because of it. Like, it's just they look flawed and they look outclassed, and I think it's over.
I think they have to bring something new, and like Paul Maurice said, that the series itself was a bit more physical than it actually needed to be.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the trap that they're falling into. seemingly, but honestly, like they in game 5 they have to bring something new, and they have to kind of focus on their play and just the in between stuff. It's just the in between stuff. It's like if you can get within the transition, if you can use your speed, like how many times are we seeing Anthony Duclair, use his speed to kind of break through and get to the front of the net. That's kind of they have to play that north-south kind of hockey, and any time that like there's these certain shifts that I think who's the third on the line? It's Eichel, Marchessault. Or no, it's both the lines. There's Eichel, Marchessault, and someone else.
Riley Smith.
It might be Riley Smith,
Carlson?
and then there's Carlson's on. Well, there's Chandler Stevenson, Brett Howden, and I think Mark Stone line, which is crazy. Who'd have thought? But just they have these amazing possession metrics, and they'll have these like a minute and a half, 2-minute shifts where they're just hemming them in. Mm-hmm. And that's what Vegas wants to do. They're a puck possession team, and they're not necessarily the burners that Florida is, but you have to dictate kind of when you're going to be able to play your game. And I think Florida's getting a bit mixed up in the in-between and thinking of like, hey, we're going to do the Muhammad Ali thing where we're going to punch you for 3 games, and then, we're down 3-1, but during the 5th one, you're going to be really tired. Well, now you look at, Matt Tkachuk's status is unknown. Brandon Montour, there's another Panther, but they weren't seen at practice today, so maybe they're having maintenance days in that instance. I think I might have been Forsling, I'm not sure, but Vegas is healthy.
Yeah,
this is reminding you, like Oh, I was so close. Oh my God. I was so close. If you didn't bring up the sign, I would have brought it up. I absolutely was on the edge of bringing up that specific time in
our lives.
Back when I don't know, Peter, that young folks song was really popular. Thank God we didn't though. But I'm ready. Like Ryan, I'm ready for the 2 weeks. I get 2 or 3 weeks leading up to the draft. Yeah. Like I'm really amped. We saw the 3-way deal being made last week. We saw Damon Severson being doing the sign and trade, which is so reminiscent of the NBA and how they do stuff. I'm just so excited to see what's going on, and to kind of bring it back to maybe more Canuck-centric things. It's like, we were talking before the show started, where we talked about how Jim Rutherford said, "Oh yeah, we'll be competitive within like a year." Yeah, no worries. And then the idea that they're the ones that doubled down on, Ilya Mikheyev trading for Filip Hronek, and also coming out and saying that, we're really confident in our ability to move salary and to move wingers and to move stuff around. And
they're not doing it.
Well, no, it's not that they're not doing it. It's like, hey, this is the time. Like I think 2 things can be true at the same time. One, where I can give them the benefit of the doubt right now, and then also I can understand that there's this trepidation and anger that might show up later down the road. We have to talk about the present and where we are right now. Where it's like, if we're talking about Connor Garland and like Brock Besser coming out and saying, "Yeah, I've rescinded my trade request." Okay, that doesn't. It's too much. It's just the players just should not have the agency in this Canucks organization anymore to come out and say what they prefer. It doesn't matter what you prefer. Sorry, it's done. You had the ability to come out and play in a way that made it undeniable for you to say, well, I kind of want to stay, or I want to do this, I want to do that. The general manager and the people in the front office just need to be coming up in the next 2-3 weeks leading up to the draft.
Yeah.
I mean, on my bucket list, it's making salary. So if that's moving Garland out, we saw the Cal Peterson move also was interesting because Cal Peterson's owed a signing bonus. I think it's like $3 or $4 million signing bonus, and he also has term left on his contract. But also, you can with Tyler Myers, like, okay, are you gonna wait till September when his bonus kicks in, or is there something you can figure out where I don't know? I mean, I was going to say retain, but then that doesn't really particularly make sense with Tyler Myers. But again, like this is the shut up or ship out kind of mentality that I'm really excited, and I think Canucks fans should be excited because you're going to find out the truth. You're going to find out what these guys are made of and what the future is going to entail.
Yeah.
And also to finish off with the draft, like I was talking about, yeah, it's moving salary, but even at the draft, like if you are at 11 and, you know, David Ronbacher's taken and I don't know, Zach Benson didn't really fall to you. The dream scenario of Washington or Montreal skipping out on Matvei Michkov and he falls, like if all those fails and you don't, you know, even trade down and you do this thing where you stand pat, it's just enough. It's enough standing pat. It's enough standing pat, and I'm trying to forecast myself into September, October, and the stuff that we're gonna potentially be talking about, unless, you know, stuff shifts and stuff moves. I'm already starting to think about. I'm just being like, oh, maybe I should start smoking. Maybe I'm gonna start smoking in September, October again. We have to keep talking about the JT Miller's he's movable, even though he has no trade clause. He's movable.
He's got an 8-year. Yeah, that's my biggest worry is that we start, we return to podcasting after a summer break, and it's like, okay, Connor Garland's still here, Brock Besser's still here, Tyler Myers is still here, JT Miller is still here, Ilya Mikheyev. Like, we're basically talking about the exact same team that came to training camp last year with the bad vibes. And we're just going to be like, well, we got the exact same team again, but it's different because Rick Tocchet's here. Or it's different because all those injuries we didn't know about in the moment aren't there anymore, so everyone's going to be playing way better.
And everyone knows we're not going to get injured this year. Remember that? Was it last year or the year before where they miraculously didn't have any injuries and still were just abhorrently terrible? And we were like, oh, man. Was it
the
last
Bruce year? The Bruce year. The only guy that really got hurt was Demko got worn down. But, like, no player, if I remember correctly, like so many guys played full seasons. Like, it was just an anomaly. And then, the next year, everybody gets hurt. And people got hurt with the World Championships. And I'm I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about sports franchises just standing pat.
And Mariners. Why haven't the Mariners traded for Shohei Ohtani yet?
Well, he's a UFA. He's a free agent at the end of the year.
Yeah, but you gotta get ahead of it. You gotta go to them and be like, listen, you got Shohei Ohtani, you got Mike Trout. You guys have been bad forever. We'll give you a Ken Griffey rookie card. And we'll go down to Oakland. We'll get the possum. We'll make him your mascot.
We'll get the possum.
The Los Angeles Possums of Anaheim.
I'm thinking it's exactly that. I was kind of cataloging NHL franchises that kind of stand pat.
Mm.
And
stand pat in what way? Like movement or just running stuff back, expecting different results?
Running the same stuff back, expecting different results, not really fully committing to one thing or the other. Like, there's a lot of teams that, the teams at the top have been built through the draft, and the teams at the bottom are gutting the house, and they are
Briere. Give props to Danny Briere, man.
He's
first trade, love it.
First trade, Provorov. Second trade, Tony DeAngelo.
He's like, whoa, you can't trade me. Yes, we can. Whoa, oh.
Now that I've traded the D'Angelo and the guy that doesn't want to wear the Pride uniform, have you all forgotten about my lousy, good-for-nothing son pushing a wheelchair down the stairs? No? Okay. John, Torts, you're fired.
He's a Torts, you're fired. Here, look, guys. I'm juggling fireballs. Look at me. Forget about my son. He did. You know what's really funny? I maybe I mentioned it on the pod, but every so often I'll watch that Winter Classic show with the Flyers and the Rangers back in the day, so the Yager year, and I distinctly remember like Briere's kid, because Sean Couturier was staying with them in his rookie year.
Yeah.
And I distinctly remember like his son being a little shit.
Oh yes,
Like one of those like kids that like he hasn't grown into his chubby fat yet. And then I don't know, it's just he was mouthing off, and I'm like, man, why don't Couturier just smack him in the mouth?
You're the kid of a pro athlete that's making millions upon millions, and
now they've shown up to your house with cameras,
and
they're like, yeah, why don't you just
trouble.
play NHL?
Yeah, just goof around. Why don't you show them that funny thing you do where you hit people in the face and it's really funny?
Crazy, what a life.
But I worry about a professional sports team's head office or front office and ownership that are like, listen, it's really hard to win the Stanley Cup, and everybody that tries, even the teams that do an amazing job building for a decade, don't do it. Why don't we just kind of... People are going to keep coming to the games.
Hey, Yarmo. How about you just go all in? Why don't you just fucking go? Like, okay, so...
You got the squad. You're ready to go.
So this is the thing. It's really interesting for Jarmo Kekalainen where he makes these deals for Damon Sievertson and Ivan Provorov where he gets a pair. Like, that's a pairing. That's a full-blown... They're both under their 20s.
The defense
under their
core
30s.
is very good now for now.
What is it? It's Werenski... Jurasek maybe, or Jurasek
I'll tell you
maybe
in a second. But Werenski is a stud.
So it's probably what Werenski, Jurasek, and then or Juracek or whatever. And then
Andrew Peak, good.
Andrew Peak's kind of on the fourth.
Eric Goodbranson.
Oh my god.
They
have a bunch.
Boquist.
Adam Boquist, Jake Bean's on there as well. But yeah,
Yep.
they have a flood of defensemen now, so we'll see. Andrew Peak might be moved. I mean that if the Canucks weren't. I mean, the entire deal is like Jack Roslovic and Andrew Peak for JT Miller. And I don't think anyone in this city would be upset. They'd be like, okay, whatever, fucking get the hot potato away.
Just bring anything new in.
I mean, isn't it kind of crazy that, like, Ryan, we are technically like 2.5 weeks away from the JT Miller saga, like, being over in this city?
Yeah.
Like, he's here. Like, he is here. He's not going anywhere.
He's buying a proper house if he hasn't already done so. He's pouring concrete foundation on July 1 at midnight.
He is full on going NIMBY on Lonsdale. He's like, we got to get rid of the C-bus. These goddamn inner city people coming in. Not inner city, but like, no, damn it, that wasn't the word. I was looking for the downtown core business people.
We like a nice quiet way of life over here.
I just want to go to the Centennial Theater and watch my kids do Cats without being bothered.
He's had to be like that for 8 years.
Like,
but it's also crazy to think that JT Miller has been here since 2019, since the summer of 2019, and through when the first year was about the overpayment. And then it was the negative mindset of the bad body language. And now it's that he's tradable. And now you got to do it now. And then there's still a hope, trade him now. And then that all ends on...
It all ends July 1.
18 days from now, where it's like, he's just a guy that he lives here forever.
Yeah. No, he's here forever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, this is so much in hindsight because we have to look at... or foresight because we just have to look at... Maybe, we have to revisit this 5 years from now and be like, is his skating gone? Is he Ray Whitney? I don't know. Maybe we'll see. But it's always funny. It's to think about like how long we have been talking about JT Miller and that, and you're right, 18, 19 days. Like it could all be over.
And I'm kind of happy for the guy. Like, yeah, he seems, he's got some. There's been some moments at golf tournaments that you kind of have a raise an eyebrow at. Or there's some moments on the bench, but like this, he has been the number one trade chip, albatross, overpayment, locker room cancer, issue on the bench, every single thing that you could look for as a talking point to covering a professional sports team. He's literally been it. He's been their best player some years, and it's still been, we really got to move him.
Well,
he's got to go.
Man, I feel like we just all, the more I talk about the Vancouver Canucks, the more I'm like, man, we really need like some psychiatric counseling. Because it's so layered. Like I bring up the word trauma, but it is trauma. It's, I know Jim Benning now is 2 years ago, or we're coming up or past 2 years ago. In about 6 months, probably it's going to be about 2 years, I think. We're all dealing with all this stuff, and then the fan base is dealing with that that trauma, and now it's being passed on to the players because we're treating the players like how we wanted to treat management, and the players that are here because that management group brought them in are the ones that keep reminding us of those people.
Yeah.
It's like the ex that you have that also, like, for whatever reason has slept with your current partner, and you're like, ah. That's never happened to me, but I'm sure it's happened before.
Before we take a breather and go into sauce it or toss it, who's your gut feeling for Conn Smythe Trophy winner?
It's between Marchessault and Eichel. I mean, probably Eichel, I would say.
Really?
Yeah, it's Eichel and Marchessault. I mean, you could go Adin Hill. You could just give the boy the thing, but for me, yeah, it's Jack Eichel. I think the story kind of really comes full circle. It's something for the NHL to hang their hat on and be like, look, it's Eichel 1, McDavid 0.
That's
ding,
true.
Ding ding ding.
I hate to say it, but
the dog kicker. You're going for the dog kicker.
Yeah, I would just like to remind you of some of the things. This is true dialogue. These are comments that a true champion says. And I quote, "Can you stop diving? Jesus. As soon as you can skate properly, stop wasting my time." This one. Anyway, I'm reciting Jonathan Marchessault's Instagram comments. Well, that one was pretty mean. Somebody said that his child looks like they'll be a diver just like their old man, and he got mad about that. But the most famous one is,
you have a face as ugly as your dog or something.
Yeah, I'm just bringing it up right here. What do we got?
That's what the quote was.
Shut the F up, little dick, and go suck on your... That is the type of face that the NHL wants. These are the comments that we're going to hear. Forget about Nikita Kucherov. It's Jonathan
Forget about
Marchessault.
Nazem Kadri shoving it down people's throats. Those people in St. Louis being super racist to him or whatever. It's
Jonathan, you just won the Conn Smythe Trophy. How do you feel? I feel pretty good, but I don't think I was in the wrong with commenting on the looks of that dog in 2020 in the bubble.
You didn't even put on the French-Canadian accent?
Et not to talk about Jonathan Marchessault. That dog is ugly, un chien, moi, n'est pas de bon.
Here's one reference for you guys in my French-Canadian accent. Thomas Tata. And then I love how he goes back and he's like, Tata.
You know that
We'll be back from the break.
Hello, everybody. Hope you're enjoying the podcast this far. If you want to support the show monetarily, as always, you can support us at patreon.com/pucksonnet. When and where you can pledge a couple of bucks. $5 American to be exact will get you immediate access to all our bonus content. 5 minutes are paying, which we just did, which was really fun. We're going to have some excursion vlog or bonus content coming your way soon. You can also get access to the Pucksonnet Discord and our Rock'em Sock'em April, and every bit of bonus content we've ever done is available for $5 American, $7.50 Canadian per month. Every dollar that you give goes right back into the show. Everything is reinvested to making this podcast bigger, better, brighter, louder, faster. I think those are Kanye West lyrics. If you don't want to support the show monetarily, completely understand. Gas was $2.05 in the Metro Vancouver this week. But again, if you're on the fence, it's a great opportunity. You get a little more content, and you really help us out. If If you're not doing that, youtube.com/pucksonnet. We're putting the video podcast up there immediately. You can also get clips. You can get bonus content. There's an overthrow on a pickoff by the Miami Marlins. You get a lot of clips there. And just subscribe, hit the bell, all that stuff. You can also follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on TikTok. We put clips out there every week. You can also do the old school podcast stuff of rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts. That goes a long way to help defeating the awful algorithm. And if you listen on Spotify, you can share each episode in your Instagram story. So if you know some people that follow you on Instagram that might like this podcast, might like hockey, might like a podcast, blah, 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 that's how you reach them. That's all the things you can do to help grow the footprint of this podcast, grow the audience, and help get the word out. Now, I am told that the Mariners put up a 2-run first inning. I'm starting to think it might happen here. I'm watching this on tape delay. I do know. And if Bud Selig, that's going to get down. They're going to score. If Bud Selig shuts this podcast down, you know why. Let's go back to the show. Blah, blah. That's how you reach them. That's all the things you can do to help grow the footprint of this podcast, grow the audience, and help get the word out. Now, I am told that the Mariners put up a 2-run first inning. I'm starting to think it might happen here. I'm watching this on tape delay. I do know. And if Bud Selig, that's going to get down. They're going to score. If Bud Selig shuts this podcast down, you know why. Let's go back to the show. All right, Arash, we're back from a video of me telling everybody to give us money.
Thank you, Ryan.
Can I show you something before we go into Sauce It or Toss It? Sauce It or Toss It?
Okay.
Dear...
Usually when white men want to show me something, I don't know.
Dear friend of the show and longtime listener and supporter, Roger R. Smith.
Hey, Roger! He also knows something that not trust white people. You see, I can make that joke because Roger and I are in a very select group where we're all just trying to dethrone you, cuties.
Take the crown off, baby. Take the crown. He sent us some sweet stuff, some swag, some cards.
Oh, I always love Roger swag, honestly.
Yeah, so he really liked our the comments we made when Gino Ojic passed away. So he sent us each. He sent us each matching Gino Ojic signed tough customer cards, which are pretty sweet. And he sent Arashi a Sergei Bobrovsky signed jersey card.
No way.
And I don't know and this is a rookie card, so it's good.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
What you're going to want to do is take this down the road to Wally's. Tell Wally
I'm like genuinely curious about Roger's card collection. He seems to me like, if ever there was a time to rob someone's house, it's probably Roger.
He also sent us a Heisler Nation sticker, which we put on our surf tote. I want to show everybody one more thing. This is show and tell. I got this today down at Wally's. I was going in there buying some hockey cards, stands and cases, and as I try to hide this from, I'm looking up at the wall. I bought this Kirk McLean mask there for like $10 last year.
And then you opened it.
Of course I did. Now I'm looking around. Wally helps me out. He gives me what I need, and I look up and I see this fucking thing of beauty. That's my second F word on the podcast.
Danny Heatley. The Thrashers Danny Heatley.
$15, and this thing is heavy enough to be a bookend.
I'm just... Why would you... Like, it's cool, but like... Okay.
Come on.
Dude. All right, it's pretty cool.
As a thrifter...
I'm curious. I'm curious which other ones of those are like exist. Like those upper deck portrait things. Like, what if there was a? I'm trying to think who would be. Really
It'd be
funny. Like a Marion Hossa Ottawa Senators one.
Yeah, like heater. If it's like 02, 03, it'd be like.
I think 03, 04, right? No.
Yeah, beginning of 03.
Danny Schmeatley. Well,
Maybe
good cops, Ryan. I'm
Jerome
proud of you.
McGinley?
Again, definitely Martin St. Louis.
Maybe.
Yeah, what?
They hadn't won the cup yet.
Ryan, he was like insanely good in 02-03.
I subscribed to Craig
03,
Button on this
04,
matter.
he won the cup, and then 05, 04, 05 was the lockout. 05, 06, not great because John Graham showed up. and the Torts is amazing. We need a goddamn occasional save.
20,
Getting real sick of the 25%.
25%. God damn it.
Need a goddamn occasional save.
I know what Arash needs, and that's some sauce or some toss. Let's
Sauce me, baby.
dive in.
Sauce it or toss it. Sauce it or toss it. Sauce it or toss it.
We're going to be getting sauce tomorrow night. Not
Dude,
with
I can't
liquor, but with pasta sauce.
Yeah, you're going to be like, just shovel it in my mouth, Tree Living. Shovel it in my mouth. Let's go.
Where's Brad?
Sauce. Where's Brad? Bring him out. Bring Brad out. We know he's doing the mozzarella sticks in the back. That's why they're so good, because Brad's so good at them. All right, Ryan.
Sauce it or toss it or Arash. Travis Green will not have an NHL head coaching job in the 2023-2024 season.
Ooh, I'm going to sauce that. I'm going to say he probably ends up coaching in Europe, and then after that, probably coaches in like some Swiss league. He's going to go live the life. And then, after that, I think he'll get another shot at head coaching. But I really thought the Anaheim position would be kind of like a really good place for him. But I think they had the Dallas Eakins kind of level of doing some stuff. But I hope that Greener takes a job in the Swiss Alps and his kids get amazing education, and he enjoys like pure chocolate from the Swiss rivers, however that works.
Speaking of pure chocolate from Swiss rivers, sauce it or toss it Arash. Boston Pizza's Pasta Tuesday prices, too good to be true.
Okay, well, you got to give me an example of one, Ryan. I'm going to vamp for about 15 seconds.
Well, we're talking about you save sometimes $7, maybe $10 per dish when you go on Tuesdays. So it is. I'm worried it's too good to be true. Do you think we're gonna go and
the portions are gonna be like not as big as other days?
Possibly.
How are we getting shrinkflationed? Is really the question. I feel like we're gonna get shrinkflation. It's amazing. We could have went to any other place for our one dinner that also has like, the game on, but we're going to Boston Pizza, and the server there is going to get a good tip regardless. And I hope that the Boston Pizza we go to, I've almost gotten in 2 fights there. One was from a very drunk Oilers fan who was there with his mom, and apparently they had a gift card, and he just didn't understand, like, dude, like, you're talking about how like the Oilers are better than Canucks. It's like, yeah, dude. You guys had like 15 chances at a lottery and you all won, and then you screwed it up. And then the one pick you guys could make that no one could literally screw up on, you made. Congrats. Literally, God had to come down and be like, okay, there's a guy plays for Erie that is so good that all you have to do is just pick him. And it doesn't even matter if you bring Adam Oates back and you put him as his line mate, doesn't matter. Could be an inanimate carbon rod. He'll be fine.
So I hope whoever encounters Arash and I tomorrow night at Boston Pizza really, really gives it to him, because he's not having good times at Boston Pizza.
No, just be ready, man. I'm not passive with how I. And whenever I'm in public, if someone's being an asshole, I'm gonna tell them.
Sauce it or toss it, Arash. With only 4 games played in the playoffs this year, this is it for Phil the Thrill.
How old is he now?
35.
I feel has he just been scratched? Like, is he not in the lineup right now?
Yeah, he doesn't. I was reading up on it today, and it comes down to basically he's not a bottom 6 player.
Yeah, for sure. You know what? I'm gonna say if they win the cup, yeah. I just don't know what more he has to prove. Like he has the Iron Man streak. He's won what? It's going to come up to 3 Stanley Cups if they win.
Yep.
Like what more does he have to prove? Everyone made fun of him for being the hot dog kid and being passed on in the All-Star game draft or whatever. And now they came back and he's like, "Well, I hold the Iron Man streak. I won 3 cups. So what more do I have to do? I can just retire at this."
Do you want to know how many points he has?
How many points?
992.
Oh man, I don't know. Well, 8 points. It's like, yeah, again, but like, what do you? Okay, you've reached 1,000
But
points.
what
Like,
would
he has
Phil
3
do?
cups. Yeah,
Yeah.
what would Phil do?
Feels like he's like, I don't give a shit about 8
I'll
points.
fucking quit. I swear to God, you can tell that fuck. I'll fucking quit. Oh, one of my favorite. Good one, Randy. Good one.
Sauce it or toss it, Arash. People making phone calls on speakerphone in public is the worst post-pandemic trend.
Oh man, that's a really good question.
For context, I was at IKEA. I had the day off, and I went at 10 a.m. right when it opened, and some middle-aged person was blabbing on speakerphone, and I bit my tongue and bit my tongue and bit my tongue, and then I just sat. I kind of took a few steps forward and turned around and said, "You don't need to be on speakerphone," and then I just kept walking.
Okay, I'm gonna toss it just because my most hated post-pandemic trend is this is the thing. Masks are actually dope. Like they protect us, right? The problem with masks is that they became so politicized that, listen, countries like China and Japan, they've been using masks forever, even before COVID. And it's become so stupid with how politicized it's become that now if you wear a mask, depending on the person, they're like, "Oh, you fucking sheep."
Yeah, it's like
Like,
you're
no.
wearing a shirt for the party you voted for.
It's just stupid, man. I don't know. I just as someone who's dating someone who's immunocompromised and has a bit more awareness and tough, it sucks. Like I think I don't know the word. Yeah, it's just like the head in the sandness of it all. Like people just want to forget it happened, or they also like have been coming to a point in the post-pandemic where people are so traumatized from the last 3 or whatever years it's been that they like people's daily awareness of like being on the bus and let's say someone needs a seat and you're seated on, the accessibility seats, and just people are just like, it's not that I think their people are assholes. I just think people are so detached and so disassociated with their surroundings. It's like,
Yeah,
hey guys, like we still got to give a shit.
I couldn't agree more. Sauce it or toss it. Speaking of people giving a shit more, Aiden Hill is going to make over $4 million next season.
Sauce. Are you kidding me? Sauce. The boy from the Comox Valley. He's making that shmoney.
Any idea where?
Probably Vegas, I'd say. Maybe shorter term. Or he's 27 now. Maybe like a 4x4 or like 4x3.
Yeah.
And then they're like, hey, you won. Here's some money, but shorter term because I don't know about this one. Okay, we'll see. And then, by the time he's like 29, 30 or whatever, he can like cash in with his big money one if he's really like a workhorse starter. But yeah, good for Aiden Hill though. Love it.
I'm not taking anything away from him, but like just about any goalie in the league would look pretty damn good in front of that Golden Knights team that just
pretty good.
just eliminates errors, which is what I'm like. I'm not worried about a full Jack Campbell to Edmonton, but Darcy Kemper to Washington kind of thing. Like, it wasn't all him.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank God.
Sauce it or toss it or Arash. The Columbus Blue Jackets will make the playoffs next year.
Toss.
Big toss.
Big huge toss, man. I mean, have you seen their center depth? Like, I don't know. It seems like there's a guy from Ohio that maybe you should trade for. And it's not Jack Rossovic, even though Jack Rossovic's from Ohio. I feel like you got to move one out and bring one in if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I just
And-
don't see them making like a New Jersey Devils leap where they're
Yeah.
like last and they're like, oh crap, Line and Gaudreau, and then who's a funny center, Max Domi. They brought him back. We'll see.
And Babs is there too. Plans to be there. So God only knows what the two players you just mentioned are going to be like under him.
Hey, Ivan, get over here. Guess what? By your stall, right there, where you got your skates. We traded for two LGBTQ players. How are you gonna react? What
How you going to
do?
respond?
How are you gonna respond? What are you gonna do? You gonna ask for a trade? Because I'm gonna trade you. I'll trade
That's
you
a
before
rare,
I trade them.
that motivational tactic I completely endorse from Babs.
Babs did that. It would be pretty fucking.
Finally,
Could you imagine,
this
like, not that I think we only know one person who's
Luke Prokop,
Luke
who just
Prokop,
won
but he's
them, lost the Memorial Cup.
6'6", huge.
Yeah,
Huge boy from drafted by the Nashville Predators. He's won a Memorial Cup, and he's walking into that room as the de facto Muhammad Ali of the hockey world. Mr. Shep, as I do my best Howard Cosell impersonation. I am so tired, and I was wondering if you wouldn't mind asking the next question for Sauce It and Toss It, so I can go and maybe take a sip of my Powerade.
Well, the thing about this last Sausage or Toss It, Howard, is it's put in place to kind of rile up Arash a little bit. And I was inspired by this morning, post IKEA, listening to 32 Thoughts as Arash hums into the microphone, not sipping his Gatorade.
Thank you.
Sauce it or toss it, Arash. The prospect depth in Los Angeles isn't what we thought it would be.
What? What do you mean? What? What is that question?
Sauce it or toss it.
Toss it.
You're tossing it.
Their prospect depth just got them out of the Sean Walker and Calvin Peterson contracts. Like they have, if they didn't have crazy amount of depth on the right side with like, was it Jordan Spence? There's another one I'm absolutely forgetting about. I'm so sorry. But trading Helge Grans, like they're not able to do that if they don't have the depth that they have. And you look at Alex Turcotte. I hope turns the bend. Quentin Byfield's there. They made the Brock Faber move to get Kevin Fiala. You know what? Can I give my one little hot take? I think to really tie everything together for the LA Kings, they need to push in and get Connor Hellebuyck. They need to push in and just go get Connor Hellebuyck.
But they're already going to push in and get Pierre-Luc Dubois. Why?
Pierre-Luc Dubois is like, he's been manifesting Montreal his entire life.
And
he just wants to go. He wants to play in Quebec. Well, let him play in Quebec. Whatever. Don't worry about your center depth, man. Go get your goalie. Go get Connor Hellebuyck. You'd be like, hey, you went from eating Jollibee every second day to being in Los Angeles, where we have a Nobu, an In-N-Out burger, and you can wear flip flops like 8 months out of the year.
Hey, you like animal style? Try it on. Try it on. You're gonna like it, there, pal.
Oh, I can't wait to go to Trader Joe's with you again, Ryan. That's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, we'll do it. Probably in July, I'd say next month.
We'll see. We'll see if they even allow me across the border again.
Why is that? Do you have not have a valid passport?
No, I'm a bad boy, Ryan. I'm a bad boy. Let's just say I've done some things that the country, even though it's going to hell, I've done some things. They're trying to indict me, Ryan. I'm not going to let them. I'll plead. I'll do a plea deal, and only if they pay me. They have to pay me for damages because I'm going to indict them. I'm going to do it. I have all the files and the computers.
I was in Arash's family home recently without him knowing.
What?
And there are so many Pucks on Net confidential documents
in the bathroom.
And the smells alone, like the documents are ruined. But the point is, legal boxes stacked
And
Floor to ceiling.
Ryan's got me on a voice recording. I'm going to just read it out here. Ryan's got me on a voice recording that says, hey, these are all top secret, if I was still running pucks on net, I could get them declassified, but they're really top secret. Look at these. They're top secret. That was my favorite part of the indictment.
Look how top secret they are.
Dude, look how top secret they are. Like, he's like, these are top secret. Look at this. That's it. That's literally all they need. And I swear to God, if he gets away with it, it's like, okay, there's no...
What's the point of anything?
What's the point of anything? I mean, I know we've said that during the Trump era so much, and where I think I have to make it clear I detest Donald Trump and everything he's about. But I think Donald Trump is a larger problem of the societal ills that North American politics and news media has, where it's like it's more entertainment than anything, and it's about bullies and crap like that. So it's more of like a human interest story. But anyway, Ryan, thank you for coming into my house unannounced. That was so nice of you.
Oh, somebody let me in.
Oh, my dad?
It was an inside job.
It was that dog, wasn't it? That new dog. He keeps stealing my socks and my shoes. I don't like it.
Good, well-behaved dogs don't do that.
They don't do it. They don't.
Back
Ryan,
to,
Ryan, speak, Ryan.
Yes?
Good boy. See, you see, all you have to do is, hey, Ryan, look, treat. I have a piece of candy. Roberto Luongo puck, Ryan. He went to the Hall of Fame, Ryan. Let's make our Roberto Luongo's kiss. Oh, yeah. And next guest, Roberto Luongo. Let's get busy. All right. We're literally going to prop comedy because there's literally nothing for us to talk about until like a week or so from now.
Two quick things to touch on. The eyes rolled to the back of my head when I heard that Peter Laviolette's going to be the next head coach.
Come on. Montreal typical. Come on.
Yeah, outside of one line that seemed to has his siren song has captured your heart. You love him forever because of what he said to Steve Ott and the referees
he didn't
in Montreal
say it. He
one night.
literally pushed Steve Ott out of the way.
Show some class. Hey, fuck you. I'm classy.
Yeah, fuck you. Just pushed him out. He's like, oh, what the?
I was like, nobody looks good in this situation. You're both being dicks.
You're both assholes.
Steve
Ott's like, man, you're Steve Ott.
Yeah.
Like, no shade on you. Great NHL career, but like, calm the fuck down, Steve Ott, please.
Man, we were swearing this episode.
I'm sorry. We do.
It's me too.
Hi. It's like, it's me. Hi. I'm the problem.
I'm the swearer. It's me.
Yeah,
Letter words up in your grill.
I hope when Ryan's dad listens to this show, he realizes where I get it from.
That's true. Peter Laviolette, this is his sixth head coaching job. He's really coasting. He continues to coast with that old white hockey man reputation, winning a cup with the...
It is nuts. Like, I'm like, can we just get some new people in the NHL? Can we
Arash,
just get
how
new
many times has Peter Laviolette gotten out of the third round?
I'm going to say like twice.
He's gotten out of the third round once. Oh, I'm sorry.
Didn't he win the cup?
Let me rephrase that. How many times has Peter Laviolette gotten out of the second round?
Twice?
Once.
Oh, once. Oh my God! I can't do basic arithmetic. I'm sorry.
He has, outside of the Stanley Cup Final, Stanley Cup Championship with the Carolina Hurricanes. Guy can't get out of the second round.
Wasn't that Paul Maurice?
Pardon?
Wasn't that Paul Maurice?
No, Paul Maurice never won it. Paul Maurice went with them in 01-02. The Urbe vibes.
Oh, wait a minute.
Hang on.
Hang on.
He's on DB.
Hang on. Oh, you're right. Damn, he was the head coach, and then he left. Yeah, he lost in the finals, and then he went back to Carolina. And then now he's back in the finals. I mean, listen, good for Paul Maurice. He's been to the finals quite a few times now. Well, twice. But he's been to round 3, 1, 2, twice. Yeah, wow, these guys who have been like... Ryan, I'm starting to think that maybe you don't need a head coach. I think like maybe you just have a bunch of players that can coach themselves, and then you have one guy who's on the bench being like, you guys are doing great. Who wants a Pop-Tart? Guys, you bring like a little air fryer on the bench, being
Nathan
like,
McKinnon.
These are
Pop-Tarts.
hot. He's like, ooh.
I
Zero
don't know,
sugar?
Nate Dogg's not letting you have Pop-Tarts on the bench.
No, he's
We
not.
bring up a good point. It's like these guys keep getting this. Peter Laviolette has been fired 5 times, and he's been hired 6 times to be a head coach of a team.
Mm-hmm.
Any opportunity to hire him, he gets hired immediately. He gets hired by the biggest franchises, the up-and-coming franchises, the most difficult hockey markets. He goes there, and he does an adequate job. Kyle Dubas vocalizes that he's got to think about what's best for his family. You're out of here.
You have kids? Get out of here. How dare you? Anyway, Ryan, I'm guessing you're so you're excited for the next couple weeks. Should we?
No.
You're not. Okay, so are we not going to figure out something for the draft then? I know you got to work.
We'll discuss that past the Tuesday tomorrow, but I think that we can make something happen, and then we could have a lot of fun night.
I feel like maybe we should ask some of our local friends if they're doing anything. You know, just see if maybe you can take to the Twitters. Wouldn't that be nice, like a Twitter space? Are Twitter spaces dead now? Did they not work?
Twitter's kind of dead. We'd do a live stream on like YouTube or something.
Yeah, we could just be like a bunch of lads going on and just having fun.
Finally, before we get into questions, it's a hot summer when the hottest trade bait name is Scott Lawton. For career high 43 points last year.
He's number 1 on Sarah Valley's list, baby.
And Ryan Huska, who won a WHL championship and maybe a Memorial Cup as head coach of the Kelowna Rockets, who's been an assistant coach for 5 years with the Flames. He gets the bump up, which kind of makes me think that he was the good guy, the good cop to Daryl's bad cop.
What happened? I don't understand what they're gonna. Is it Mitch Love, who's the Wranglers head coach? He just won 2. Didn't he just win like 2 titles in a row? AHL, not AHL titles, but
yeah. And I just see from Daily Faceoff here, Mitch Love to consider all options after missing out on Calgary Flames head coach job.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's from Quesnel. Shout out to Quesnel.
Who is?
Mitch Love. He's from Quesnel.
Hell yeah, good for him. Another
Ryan,
bald
we
guy.
should go to Quesnel.
I've been to Quesnel. I got a speeding ticket there once.
What? How fast were you going in Quesnel?
I was passing a truck in my mom's Honda Accord, and when I passed, the semi began to speed up, so I was doing about $1.30 to pass him. And my mom was in the car with me, and they gave me a ticket.
Nice. Fire.
And but hey, the one good thing to come out of Quesnel, I think, is Mitch Love. The worst thing is that speeding ticket I got that made me lose my license for a second time. Those are the new driver.
What? Oh my God, Ryan! Jeez, you gotta drive a diesel car. That way you don't get into trouble.
Do you want to know the first time I lost my license?
Yeah, sure.
I was doing 70 and a 50 in Abbotsford by Mill Lake on to all the homies Bevan Road. Wait, no. Yeah, Bevan. To all the Abbotsford homies, just south of Mill Lake. And I was driving beside a car with friends of mine in it, and the person in my passenger seat was talking to somebody or like yelling or hooting and hollering at the person in their car. The cops thought we were street racing at 70 kilometers an hour.
Nice.
Got 6 points because I had an extra person in the car.
Nice.
Lost it right there. Well, had to mail it in.
Well, I've never gotten a ticket or been pulled over, so.
Well, aren't you a goodie?
Kind of seems like when it's an Iranian driving a Volkswagen, that's what the white cops like. They said, no, as long as you're not driving a Mercedes. We don't like to see that. We don't want to see you getting ahead. But if you're driving a 2003...
Well, okay, the fact is my car is kind of like a cult legend now. The TDIs are cult status. So, love it. Anyway, Ryan, questions.
Roger,
Stop giggling over the fact that you lost your license. Come on.
This was a long time ago.
Oh, okay, sure.
God, it's almost 20 years ago.
Oh, 20 years. Okay, 14 days ago.
Roger Smith, what is with the 3-day break in between games in the NHL Stanley Cup Final?
Wow, my God, Roger.
It kind of stinks.
Kind of sucks. They're just really trying not to play on the same day as the NBA.
And I heard that argument that it's good that players get healthy, but These guys aren't in a. These guys don't have bumps and bruises that take 48 hours to recover from. These guys are banged up big time.
Bingo.
I get to pick question of the week here. You did. You were privy to one.
I liked one question from maybe I'm gonna have a soft spot for Richard Honeycutt because goddamn that last name is. I love it. Richard Honeycutt in the Discord. Ryan, get out of the way. I'm doing it now. Get out.
Well,
it's my show. Look at me.
Ask the third question.
I am the host now. The third one, not from Richard, but from Ryan from Abbotsford.
It's me.
Ryan from Abbotsford. Licenseless Ryan from Abbotsford. Which NHL player would get tackled in the midst of a celebration like Adam had one? Oh, Quinn Hughes. Because everyone's like, that child should not be on the ice.
I have my answer.
Well, who?
It's going to happen tomorrow night when Phil comes running on the ice. It's like, hey, that customer service, arena customer service employee shouldn't be here. Whammo!
Hi. You can tell that fat fuck that I have the Iron Man fucking streak. All right, Richard Honeycutt in the Discord. What's everyone's favorite way to watch the NHL draft? What's the location? What are you eating? Are you just doom scrolling Twitter? I added doom scrolling because I love it. Are you just scrolling through Twitter while doing anything else? And looking back, what's one of your favorite NHL draft memories or a draft you watched that was good vibes, etc.? I love this question because it made me very reminiscent. Favorite way to watch the draft, plonkered down. I got the laptop with the chat and Twitter open. Obviously, just Sportsnet on the TV and just constantly refreshing just to see what's up. But I love the drama of round one. I even though it's, I remember the COVID one where it took like 7 hours. It was so bad. It was on television, and
I don't remember why it took that long, but I probably watched it.
Anyway, favorite draft moment. I mean, my favorite is the Bobby Clark. That's a classic. The Matt Duchene light fist bump when he knew he was being drafted by the Colorado Avalanche was really good. There's that one dude. I don't know if maybe not the owner of the Dallas Stars, but like someone maybe he came up and he's like, from the blank. Instead of saying Thomas Harley, he's like Harley Thomas. that was pretty funny. But there's so many draft memories and so many, like the Alex Trebek thing with Tim Stützle.
Yep. My favorite is always going to be, we have a trade to announce.
Yeah, that was nuts, dude. That was crazy. I think you're gonna want to hear this.
And then like, everybody's jaw hit the floor.
Everyone's jaw hit the floor, and that beautiful cut away to Mike Gillis on his phone being like, I gotta call Roberto.
Roberto, I'm not trading you yet.
And it was like Frankie and whatever flew down to Florida. I'm like, why can't you guys just have this talk before?
Why are you doing this now?
Why are you doing this now?
My favorite part of the draft is where somebody gets picked and everybody knows everything about this junior hockey player's career and trajectory.
Oh, no, I know sorry, you just reminded me. My favorite thing about one of my favorite recent draft moments was Sam Constantino. I think it was when the Columbus player Sheikanov was taken. And then they cut back to him, and they're like, Sam, what can you tell us about him? And he's like, I'm not going to lie. I have no idea who this player It was so good. Like, I mean,
and that's why we can trust Sam Constantino, because in any line of work, if somebody says they know exactly what they're doing, chances are they don't know what the hell they're doing.
They're faking it till they make it. But when they come out and they're like, listen, I have no idea who this player is. Like, this is being honest.
Travis Elliott in the Discord asks, how do we feel about Seattle bringing a second Elon pitcher into the rotation? And how does Arash feel about me being wrong about Diablo 4 being the worst?
Okay, Ryan, you go first.
I am not emotionally invested in the Seattle Mariners this year.
What bullshit. Pan your camera to the right. Pan your camera to the right. Pan. Oh, I am not emotionally invested in the Seattle Mariners. If you weren't, you would have taken that down.
You
Your Honor, case closed.
Counter argument.
Your Honor, I'm sorry for wasting the court's time.
Garcon.
Valuable tax resource.
Garcon, they're on my team, but I mean, look over your shoulder. There's a Canucks jersey, and you know they're not doing shit this year.
Yeah, because I love them. They're mine.
Exactly.
The thing is, the Canucks, just like siblings that fail you, they're your fucking headache.
They're mine.
You love them to death. Huh?
Yeah. Don't talk bad about my team. Only I talk bad about my team.
Exactly. Only I talk shit about my family. How dare you talk shit about it? That's my favorite unwritten rule.
My whimsy of Seattle Mariners baseball has now reached a callous jadedness like I have with Vancouver Canucks hockey. Diablo 4.
I haven't played Diablo 4 yet from Travis's recommendation. I thought my high school friends group might play it, but thank you, Travis, for saving me money. I didn't have to buy it, which is great. Now that money can go towards
why isn't he sending me money?
Huh?
Well, he should send me some money.
Yeah, I'm gonna make white people more powerful. Okay.
Speaking of white people being made more powerful and money, Ryan Hank, Always 94, PP1 podcast, based on seeing Shaptop's NSFW pics on Instagram, what would your OnlyFans account be called in English and also in German? Props for making it clever, but also inappropriately leading.
Shappy ending.
Well, Shap is like Dutch, which is pretty... The Dutch and the German language are pretty similar.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to look up what ending is in German.
Oh, God, I got a vamp while Ryan looks up German.
Don't. And it's Ende. Happy Ende. Onlyfans.com/happy Ende.
Okay, let's just Jesus Christ. German accent. That was very movie German. Yeah, do we have any more questions you want to ask, Ryan?
We have to give a question of the week.
Well, you're choosing because you asked the questions.
I'm going to give it in the ultimate heel
to
turn.
myself.
To myself.
Okay, no. Dwight making the hay thing where he names himself Hay King.
I actually believe I am going to give it to Ryan Hank because I did tickle my funny bone. And that is actually his third time being awarded Question of the Week. So he gets a prize.
Every one of Ryan Hack's questions is a perverted question. And you're rewarding it. You're rewarding perverts. Ryan Hank couldn't take 1 minute. Ryan, you get the Danny Heatley ball.
You got to pay for shipping.
I love you, Richard. You had a very good question this week.
Richard
Ryan doesn't like you as much as I do.
Oh,
Ryan might be in the Discord more than he is, than me. But just understand it's because I work. I work to keep the lights on.
Yeah, Arash is the only person on the podcast with a job.
Yeah, you Abbotsford. Pretty sure that's a made up place. Never heard of it.
That'll wrap it up for this week's podcast. We're going to go into 5 minutes for paying after this. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm already big smile on my face for having another fun episode when there is very little happening. And the quality of Stanley Cup Final action is not what it has been in years past. It can't be Chicago, Boston every year, folks. That'll wrap it up. Patreon.com/pucksonnet if you want to support the show. And if you want to send us stuff, you just DM us. We'll give you the address. But that does it. We'll be at Pasta Tuesday.
We'll be there. We'll be there. We'll be there on crutches.
And we'll be capturing it in some capacity. So that'll be some bonus content coming your way. And speaking of bonus content, good night for now. And we'll see you on 5 minutes for
Good
paying.
night, you princes of Maine. You kings of New England. That's the cider house rules. Literally. That's the cider house rules. Hey, throw a pizza roll in the chat if you remember the cider house rules.
Pizza roll.